On behalf of the board, management and staff, I welcome you to Delta Television's flagship program, Morning Ride. Today is Friday, the 27th day in the month of February, and my name is Perpetua Iboba. Well, I'm not here alone. I'm not going to be riding here alone. I'm here with my partner for this ride, Lilibeth Ugochukwu. Good morning, Lily.
Good morning,
You
Pepe.
are glowing.
And you are glowing times two. How are you doing?
Good. It's a better day.
Yeah, thank God it's Friday.
Yes, TGIF.
TGIF, I'm telling you. Good
I'm
morning.
excited.
Yeah. Good morning, Deltans. Good morning, Nigerians. I hope you are doing well this beautiful Friday. Yes, of course, we welcome you to Morning Ride Friday's edition. It is our world of information, education, and entertainment. And we say, ride with us. You're not going to regret it. It's going to be a wonderful time out with us here on this set this beautiful morning.
Right, just like Lilibeth said, it's going to be a wonderful time on set this morning. Well, what do we have for you? We have interview segment, the newspaper headline segment. We'll also be talking about trending issues. Trust me, the list goes on and on. All for your listening and of course viewing pleasure right here on Delta Television. Well, a lot has been trending this week, a lot has been bringing about differing opinions, nationally and in the world of politics this week. And we begin with this one that says INEC releases revised 2027 election timetable, presidential poll to hold January 16. Well, the commission also announced a minor adjustment to the Osun State governorship election, moving it from August 8 to August 15, 2026. Well, the Independent National Electoral Commission has released a revised timetable and schedule of activities for 2027 general election, shifting dates for the presidential and governorship polls in compliance with the Electoral Act 2026. Now, in a statement issued yesterday and signed by the National Commissioner and Chairman of the Information and Voter Education Committee, talking about Malam Mohammed Kudo Aruna, the Commission said the adjustment followed the repeal of the Electoral Act 2022 and the introduction of new statutory timelines. Now, according to him, he said following the repeal of the Electoral Act 2022 and the enactment of the Electoral Act 2026, the Commission has reviewed and realigned the schedule to ensure full compliance with the new legal framework. Now, according to the revised timetable, the Presidential and National Assembly elections will now be held on Saturday, January 16, 2027, while the governorship and state houses of assembly elections are scheduled for Saturday, February 6, 2027. The Commission went further to outline key milestones leading up to the polls, which include party primaries, including resolution of disputes arising from them, and will run from April 23 to May 30 this year. Well, Lilibeth, it's been a lot happening. Right now, I think that the anthem on everybody's mouth right now is anticipation of the 2027 elections. Everybody is, expecting the election. Everybody has got differing opinions. Everybody's waiting. So what's your take on all of these, with the happenings in political parties, lots of conventions and the rest of them?
Well, to that end, I would say people are actually excited, and they want to know what is going to happen or who is going to take the seat. If you notice, some persons are actually doing their minor campaign here and there.
Yes, low-key.
Low-key. They don't want to come out because they don't want to get their principal into trouble. But we know that little campaigns here and there have been coming out. Like some groups, they go to places and help people to get their PVC registered.
Yes.
Now that's another sign, It takes the stress and the burden away from an individual to go queue up probably at INEC's office just to get their PVC registered. they take it to your doorstep. So I think that is one sign of a low-key.
Another strategy.
Yes, low-key. So, but generally, we are all waiting, we are all excited, and we are expecting it. I don't know if I would say it's actually a bit early, January.
Is it that early?
I feel it is.
Well,
So, but whichever, we are ready. We are ready. Whenever, if it's January 1, anytime, we are ready. But I think it's going to heat up middle of this month till the end, middle of this year, rather, to the end of this year.
And that brings up the question, have you gotten your permanent
Basic.
voters cards? Because lots of Nigerians, and that's why I said there's been lots of different opinions about the political space. Some people are saying, why will I vote when my vote will not count? And some people will tell you it's a waste of time, and some people will say, you know what, my vote counts, it doesn't count, I'm going to go out there to exercise my franchise. So as a good Nigerian, a law-abiding citizen, it is pertinent, it is of important necessity and value that you get your permanent voter cards so that you can go out there to exercise your franchise. You may be saying, what is one vote? What is one vote? Don't forget, every vote counts. All vote counts. So go out there to exercise your franchise. Well, in connection
Imagine 10 people
Yes.
say, what will my vote count? 10%, and they
Yes.
don't vote. That's 10 votes lost.
that's a lot. That is a lot.
Yeah, so
I'm telling
when
you.
you have that mentality, someone else out there also has the same mentality. So we should just
Right.
eradicate that thought off our mind and believe that, yes, truly, your vote will definitely count.
Well, in connection to all of these election, problem, opposition parties actually reject 2026 Electoral Act, and they are demanding for fresh amendment. Well, they said the parties called on the National Assembly to immediately begin a fresh amendment process to remove what they described as all obnoxious provisions in the law. Now, their position was made known at a press briefing themed Urgent Call to Save Nigeria's Democracy held at the Transcorp Hilton Hotel yesterday. Now, in a communique read by the chairman of the New Nigeria People's Party, NNPP, Ahmed Ajuji, the opposition leaders stated that they were demanding that the National Assembly immediately commence a fresh amendment to the Electoral Act 2026 to remove all obnoxious provisions and ensure that the act reflects only the will and aspirations of Nigerians for free, fair, transparent and credible election process in the country. Nothing short of that would be acceptable to Nigerians. And now some of the opposition parties, opposition leaders present at the event were people like former Senate President David Mark, former Osun State Governor Ralph Arebeshola, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, Rotimi Amechi, Peter Obi, and the rest of them. Well, this is all in line with politics and the forthcoming election. But basically, these people are of the opinion that, things that are obnoxious in the Electoral Act should be removed so that Nigerians can go out to exercise their franchise. Basically, free and fair elections.
Yes.
That's what we are all
Clamoring
interested in.
Yeah.
That's what we want at the end of the day. And lastly, from my end, there's this trending issue that says FCCPC accuses local airlines of price fixing. Well, let me jolt your memory a bit, Lilibeth. You remember there was a time last year, towards the end of 2025, because we are in 2026, where there was an outrageous increase in the price of local airfares, yes, and people were coming out to complain. How can there be like an over 50% increase and all of that? Well, the matter has resurrected again because FCCPC is accusing local airlines of price fixing. Well, the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, FCCPC, said it to review uncovered patterns of price manipulation perpetrated by some local airlines during the last festive season. Now, the commission had announced an industry-wide investigation earlier in January, leading to findings that are contained in the interim report released yesterday by its Department of Surveillance and Investigations. Now, these forensic exercise benefited from data collated by the Commission from airlines operating local routes in the country. The report compares domestic airline pricing with the December 2025 festive period with post-peak January 2026 fare levels. Now, in a statement signed by the Director of Corporate Affairs, Odaje Ijiago, FCCPC said that preliminary analysis indicates that fares recorded during the December peak were materially higher than those observed in the post-peak period across several routes, despite relative stability in critical operating variables like fuel prices, government taxes, and of course foreign exchange. Now, the FCCPC also cited instances in corridors like Abuja to Port Harcourt, where peak fares were several times higher than corresponding post-peak levels. It said on selected routes, the difference in the price of a single ticket reached approximately 405,000 naira. As of last year, it was that bad. Local flight fare, and then media fares across the sampled routes also rose markedly during the festive window when compared with post-peak benchmark. So do you think the FCCPC was right to, take this kind of investigation up so that it would prevent a repetition?
Will it actually prevent a repetition? For me, if that fare was increased during the festive period, it's like a norm. It's like a norm.
But everything was stable. Lilibeth, like fuel price, everything. There was nothing really extra
One thing
that
you should,
occurred.
we are in Nigeria, and I think you should know how
the
it
festive
runs
period
during festive period.
I get your point.
Transport increases. It increases.
But this was exorbitantly high, Lilibeth.
Yes, it was high. Now let me tell you, it broke the barriers when the fuel subsidy was taken off. That was when everything started skyrocketing. Transport fare went up, food prices went up, but now transport stabilized. It came back, and it's stable. Food price also stabilized, but airfare did not. And I don't know why. I cannot really tell why, but it did not. And it was supposed to stabilize. And like you said, during the festive period, it was really an exorbitant rate. It was too high. But even as it was high, sometimes I think drastic measures should be taken.
Yeah.
So yes, it should be looked into.
It should be investigated.
It should be investigated so that it doesn't repeat again. Even if you were to top up, it shouldn't be that high. You said above 50. Me, I would say above 100%. It went really high.
It was really high.
I was at the airport during that period, and believe you me, the crowd was terrible. It was massive. So even as high as it is, people still have that luxury to fly.
Well, I don't think it's luxury. Permit me to play the devil's advocate. Personally, I don't think it's luxury. I think that a whole lot of advantages associated with going for flying, and going to where you're going to via an airplane, which includes the timeliness,
and
the flexibility, the reduced stress, the security, and all of that. So sometimes I don't feel it's the luxury.
If you don't have that money, would you?
No, I wouldn't. But
Good.
I'm feeling like it's not entirely the luxury. I feel like there are other factors, like the timeliness. If I'm to go via road to Abuja, I need to leave very, very early this morning. But then if I have a flight scheduled for probably 10, I know that give or take by midday, I should be told, welcome to Abuja. Do you get my point?
I get your
so
point.
it's the timeliness and all of that. But the most important thing is that FCCPC is doing an amazing job, and it's I think the price of Nigerians that this anomaly be investigated and those behind this be brought to book, basically to avoid a recurrence. Lilibeth, you made a very, very important point when you said during festive periods things are high. And I think this is a call to Nigerians because it's the festive period. It's not a yardstick for things to be high, most especially exorbitantly
it's
high.
Supposed to be free.
It's supposed to be reduced to a large extent.
You see some governors, they bring out free buses
Free
for
buses.
their people.
Yes,
Lagos to Ebonyi, But I don't know why it should actually be looked into so that when it gets to that festive period, people don't get scared. Oh, how much is it going to be?
The anxiety.
Imagine from Delta, from let me say from Asaba to Lagos, 60,000 naira.
Yes, it was.
I don't understand why. How much
was.
fuel are you buying? Now imagine an 18-seater bus, 60,000 naira per head. How much fuel are you buying? I don't even think you're going to buy fuel up to 70,000 or let's say 100,000. So it is way too high. I think we should start thinking of having train stations everywhere now. Because if we have train stations everywhere, woe unto those transport companies.
They wouldn't make their profits.
I'm telling you.
However it is, I think this is a moment for all of us to take introspection. It's a moment for us, in as much as we say we want the government to do this, we want the government to stabilize this, we want the government to fix this. We are also in the process of governing because the government on their own cannot do it. So in our little corner, with the little that God has blessed us with, are we using these to take advantage of the common Nigerians, or are we harnessing all of them for the good of Nigerians? I think that is the question we need to ask, most especially in the transportation sector, road, air. These are the questions we need to ask because it's festive period, and then you move something that a transport fare that is normally probably 20,000, and the person has said give or take from Asaba to Lagos, I'm going to just hold 40,000. When I pay 20,000, I know that I can use this 20,000 to, let's say, take Bolt or Uber or navigate my way till I get to my destination in Lagos, and then the person gets to the park and the person is hearing 60,000. First of all, the person is dealing with shock. The person is trying to fix his or herself. The person is trying to think outside the box. Who am I going to collect 20,000 naira from now to make this journey? It's a whole lot. We are all Nigerians. So let's try to put ourselves in one another's shoes so that when we take decisions, we make it from a place of humanity, considering those around us, considering people around us, so that we try to move this country forward, basically. So Lilibeth, any other thing from your end?
Yes, I want to talk about a national celebration.
Great,
I don't do morning ride without talking about the national celebration.
Great.
So today it's one very important and very important celebration. It is the World NGO Day. The World NGO Day. That's World Non-Governmental Organization Day. It recognizes the inspirational work of the people behind non-for-profit.
Okay.
Not for profit. This organization, they don't do it because they want to earn anything. It is a non-profitable organization. It's a selfless organizations around the world. Now, NGOs are found at the local, regional, and international levels, whether large or small. World NGO Day celebrates all the benefits these groups bring to the planet. Now, NGOs, according to Article 71 of the United Nations Charter, are defined as any organization independent from government influence and is not for profit. Equally important, these groups provide benefits to individuals and communities that may not otherwise be available. They improve neighborhoods and the lives of the people who live in them, from medical aid, financial services, environmental research, educational support, and crisis intervention. NGOs provide a variety of services. Now, fueled by collaboration and innovation, NGOs grow through volunteerism. However, NGOs also provide fantastic employment and economic benefits for cities, dedicated to the leaders and visionaries who make these organizations possible. The observance encourages you to consider joining an NGO.
Great.
So have you joined an NGO today? Whether you are a part of an NGO or you have benefited from one, share your experience with someone today and encourage someone to join an NGO. So it doesn't matter. Some persons will say, oh, I don't really have money. It's not about how much. It's not about the big amount you put. It's about your heart, what you give from your inside. The little amount you give and how you give it. Are you giving that little amount with love? Are you giving with hatred or grumbling? So for an NGO to strive, for an NGO to move, you have to give it love. Now there are so many NGOs around, so many of them. There's this girl on internet, they call her Agunwa. In fact, she is just one man mopole, I would say. She goes to places. Yesterday, I saw another clips where she went to a hospital to pay for a child. Although these monies that she uses to run this charity work are being sent by individuals. She gets support from so many persons. Now it's for you to take up that mantle. Okay, I want to touch lives, and then you start soliciting for support. Even governments can support NGOs. Individuals support NGOs. So the brain behind it is just that you're putting a smile on somebody's face. You are lifting the burden off someone's shoulder. So today, as we celebrate the World NGO Day, it is a clarion call for you to belong to an NGO so that you can create an impact in the life of someone.
Very, very important. You know, when Lilibeth was talking about the World NGO Day, Non-Governmental Organization Day, I would like to see it as synonymous to volunteerism, selfless volunteerism, considering humanity as the peak. Yes, and you have to have the spirit of volunteerism and selflessness and humanity to be part of an NGO. If you're a greedy person, you have no place in being in an NGO. And just like what Lilibeth also said, you don't have to be a billionaire or a millionaire to identify with an NGO. As long as you have that spirit and that mind to help someone, you know, notwithstanding the financial cost and all of that, even though the NGO is a great opportunity for you to land big job roles and all of that. But if that is not the main focus of your mantra, well, you will do very well in any NGO you find yourself in. It is very, very important that we identify with one NGO or the other. Now the list is endless. All you need to know is to make proper research about them, their focus, their context, what they aim to do, and then you ask yourself pertinent questions. Do I want to be here? Do I want to identify with this person, this NGO? If they don't align with what you believe, you move over to the next NGO. And also the sky is so big to accommodate all of us that we even have individuals that don't belong to NGOs, but you know what, they've used themselves as the bridge between those who have help and those who do not have help. Now the list is endless, but Lilibeth mentioned the name. I would not like to mention others. Now these people solicit for funds from the bourgeois in the society, government organizations, to see that people that do not have, you know, their sufferings, their problems are mitigated to a very, very large extent. Is it storming hospitals to pay hospital bills for those that cannot afford it? Is it just anonymously walking into a mall on a cool Friday evening to offset the bills of those that are already in the mall trying to offset their own bills? Is it going to the market to share food, cooked food for children on the streets? Is it doing anonymous sending of money to people's bank accounts anonymously? Is it sharing of airtime on social media handles, different social media handles? You say, drop your account or drop your phone number, let's share airtime or data. Is it buying lunch for people anonymously? The list is endless. This is just to tell us that notwithstanding how difficult it is in the society, we have walking angels that are placed in the society to make life better for us.
All right, and that's it on national celebration. Now let's come to Delta State. Oborori governor, our governor, Oborori to Oluremi Tinubu, he said, "Your respect for tradition strengthens national unity."
Great.
Now we all know that the First Lady visited Delta State, Warri precisely,
Yeah.
and it was a very colorful event. I could see the Shekiri women in their traditional attire,
the dancing.
It
was colorful.
It was really colorful, I must say. Now, the Delta State Governor, Right Honorable Sheriff Oberewori, yesterday said Nigerians are blessed to have a humble and compassionate First Lady who genuinely cares for the poor and vulnerable in our community. That's another selfless nature.
Yes.
Now, the governor made the assertion on Thursday, that was yesterday, at the grand homecoming reception held in honor of the First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, at the Palace of the Olu of Warri.
Yeah.
Now, that's one. And then also at the Palace of the Olu of Warri, she was honored with Utupa Orishe title. Hey, that's another title given to her. Yes. So the Ogame Atuwashe the third, the Olu of Warri, has conferred Oluremi Tinubu, the First Lady, with the chieftaincy title of Utupa Orishe of Warri Kingdom. According to the palace, Utupa Orishe of the Warri Kingdom, also known as Ubone, is an honor symbolizing heritage, service, and royal recognition. And so that's congratulations to the First Lady for bagging that award, title, that chieftaincy title. So it's a beautiful thing that Delta State was actually remembered by the First Lady.
Well, she's our own.
She's been coming. This is not the first time she visited. Yeah. I think the last time she was in Asaba, and she was hosted at the Dome Event, the Dome Event Center, and now it's Warri. And because of her selfless nature, the love she has for the people and also the vulnerable, she visited, and it was really massive. It was something else, and we really appreciate her for coming. Great. And now let's look at on sports. Golden comeback, Edo storm to second Niger Delta Games title in commanding fashion. We know that the second Niger Delta game is ongoing right now in Edo State. So Team Edo delivered a commanding performance on home soil to emerge overall champions of the second edition of the Niger Delta Games, ending a 24-year wait for a major sporting honor in empathic style. So in a result that surprised many observers, Edo dominated the week-long competition, finishing top of the medal table with an impressive haul of 52 gold, 34 silver, and 25 bronze medals. So that's total 111 medals. So Delta State secured second place, replicating their strong showing from the inaugural edition with 39 gold, 29 silver, and 34 bronze medals. Overall, 102, while Bayelsa settled for third with 25 gold, 24 silver, and 26 bronze medals, totaling 75. Now, why I brought this up is, could it be because it was done in Edo State? Is that why Delta came second?
Had the home advantage.
The advantage, yes, because I have this belief that when a game is being done in your own home, you emerge the winner. I don't know. I just have that belief. I don't know, but well. Be it as it may, congratulations also to Delta. Second place is not bad.
Second place is not bad
yes,
at all.
Yes, we did not fall out entirely
at all.
So second place is not bad. So
to all the participants also.
To Delta State for winning 102 overall. Okay, let's look at this state police. You know, it's been long overdue. So many persons have been talking about state policing because of the the rate of
insecurity
insecurity
in the
right.
country.
Now, the federal government has declared that Nigeria is ready for the establishment of state police, with Bola Ahmed Tinubu determined to implement the long-debated reform once the necessary legal framework is in place. I was holding the framework because it is long overdue and it's been debated on every now and then.
Should it really be debated upon?
That they should just, well, let's say, drop every protocol. Things are really happening. Things are really happening. I saw a story online where I think that was in Ebonyi State, where 2 girls were sent home because they didn't make their hair, or their hair was bushy, they didn't cut their hair, and they were sent home by the teachers.
Okay.
Only for the villagers to find their lifeless body in the bush. Both of them. So what really happened between their home and the school?
Yeah.
Danger. So that's to tell you that even those in the school, their lives are not they are not safe as well, because I want to believe it's a short distance from the home to the school.
Even if it's a long distance, have we gotten to that point in the country where, you know, from one point to another, rather than, you know, seeing someone healthy, safe and alive, we find their lifeless bodies? Has it gotten this bad?
It is so painful. I think when I saw the story of state policing, I told myself, it is long overdue. We need it like ASAP. So I'm just hoping that the president will sign or will put in the legal framework that he's talking about, put it into action, and let the state policing begin. Let's see how where we go from there, because Nigeria actually needs security to be tightened up.
Great.
Oh, so that's all.
That's all. Well, that's all we have for trending issues this morning. We'll go on a quick breather, and by the time we return, it will be time for our next sport. You're still on to Friday's edition of Morning Ride. Stay tuned.